I felt like that was worth noting because
for the video though.
Huh?
You can edit it out in the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Ooh, I didn't really have that problem. What was that?
No, it was Gloria.
Hungry hippos.
You're wrong. But you're true. That's you're wrong, but you're right. That's bad.
Whoa. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, it's your boy Jay.
And it's your boy Jalen. Been gone for a minute, but had exams, had tests, had some stuff going on in our lives we're gonna get into later. It's probably some later videos once we actually feel like the situation died down. But we got a very special treat for y'all today. We're gonna give the opportunity to tell y'all our backstories, as in who we are, what we are, and why we do it. So, if that feels it, you think that's it? Nah. So I guess you want to start off, or you want me to start it off? I can start off if you want me to.
I mean, I think I prefer that you started off because I don't necessarily like the shit that's going that has made me the person that I am. I don't think that you know. I don't think that you really know like what my family is like. Did I ever tell you that my father left me in Canada?
Yeah, a little dark. But anyway.
That's not dark. My father he found me. I mean,
okay. little things you know. I mean, my full name is Jalen J. Not telling y'all my middle name, McNair. I'm originally from Macon, Georgia. I was born and raised. Well, I have family from Macon, and so I also claim Macon as my home too. I've had parents in Dublin, I had people on the west side of Macon, so I basically claim Macon as my home too. I was raised in Hinesville, Georgia, next to Fort Stewart. I didn't really have the typical mother and father thing as most kids, most African Americans, like most African American kids, would have. My father left me at a young age due to complications with me. My mother joined the military. Right after I was born, and I was raised by my grandparents since I was 16. Around growing up and everything, brought up in the church, so on and so on, but different experiences with different people as I grew up kind of changed me a little bit. I'm kind of glad it actually happened for a reason. I feel like it happened for a reason too. I lost a lot of people I loved and cared about growing up and everything, and I just felt like without those situations, I wouldn't be the person I am today, without a doubt. But around growing up, I wasn't always the most. I didn't like attention. I still don't, actually. CJ can vouch for this.
He's a stoic.
Yeah, I don't really like attention like that. I kind of just keep myself unless I actually consider you in my circle, with me. Ooh, excuse me, bro. That Waffle House kicking my butt, bro. But it's not. I probably, growing up, everything I didn't like attention and everything. Plus, until my 5th grade year, I was just a fat, short kid. Well, I was just a fat kid, yeah. I was just a fat, short kid who liked to read and do schoolwork and everything. Then my 5th grade year, I had a mean growth spurt. I went from maybe 4'11" to maybe about 5'8", 5'9", my 5th, 6th grade year. And that's when I actually started picking up on basketball, my 5th, 6th grade year. I didn't actually play organized basketball. I just, played it, went to the park, played outside and everything, stuff like that. I was actually doing martial arts at the time. And just, for self-defense, because I was, a lot bigger. I didn't look my age. So I kind of just picked up on that and everything. And I actually didn't start taking basketball serious until I want to say my 7th or 8th grade year. That's when I actually started getting serious. Around my 7th grade or 8th grade year, played with some pretty good dudes, played against some pretty good dudes. Richard LeCount was at UGA football. Davion Mitchell was at Baylor for basketball. Will Richardson was at Oregon. I played with and against those dudes. I've been to camps with them. And I just felt like around that time basketball was something that could, keep out of all the darkness and everything. I guess I kind of grew up with that I didn't really express or that I didn't really show to my grandparents because I try to play the good card or try to play Two-Face for them real well. I wanted them to see my happiness and everything. I didn't want them. I didn't want them to see the stuff that really bothered me growing up. So I just felt like basketball can help me with that. And also at the same time, my grandfather, who had played a little bit, he learned, the game and everything like that too at the same time. I can't thank my grandfather and my grandmother enough just for the stuff that they done for me and everything so far, especially my grandfather, with basketball and school and everything else. And it's crazy because, going into my freshman year in high school, the assistant coach was looking for, the head coach was looking for another assistant coach, and he saw how he saw me play a couple times and everything against some of the older dudes. He asked, who worked me out, who trained me, who did this, did that. I said, my grandfather. So he went up to him and said, oh, would you be interested in being an assistant coach for me? And out of nowhere, he got the job. So around my freshman year of high school, that's when, I guess all the Lord, you heard that?
I did.
Yeah, boy,
I heard the fuck out of that. I heard the hell out of that.
I would say probably around my freshman year of high school, that's when all the life lessons or the real me started to kind of show a little bit, as in me showing how I deal with people who kind of do me a certain way or say something about me or some type of way. Around my freshman year, I was one out of 3 freshmen that only played JV and varsity. Didn't really play much for JV, but I played a lot of varsity. And it showed, just people just, it was weird. It was different because I've never really, I guess, been taught so much or really even approached by people like that. I would always be with just my group of friends, and that was it. But, I'm in sometimes, I'm in class or I'm in the library, got teachers saying, oh, you're that kid from, the basketball team. I'm like, I don't really know too much. I've never really had that. I never really had that before. I took it, I didn't let it get to my head. I just took it with a grain of salt. But I guess other people saw it differently. So that's when, I sort of actually had, problems. Couldn't really keep a relationship because people were always running their mouth about me or whatever and stuff like that. And, it's just, a part of me wanted to just, like, the old me just wanted to just, like, break down, just, like, kind of just fight everybody who just said something about me. And also part of me actually just wanted to cry, too, at the same time. I was soft as a freshman dealing with that kind of stuff. But then at the same time, I kind of realized, like, hey, if they weren't talking about me or just doing all this extra stuff, that means I'm not doing something right. So I just took it like that and said, hey, I'm going to run with it. So 10th grade year comes along, same thing, same stuff, except now I'm actually officially, I'm a varsity starter and everything. Same problems, same situations, everything else, so far and so on, stuff like that, And also at the same time, around my 10th grade year, my mom, me and my mom's actually started getting back on a good communicating level. There was talks of me going to live with her. I was still deciding on whether or not to go, just certain things. And, certain things happened my 10th grade year with certain people that actually kind of pushed me to actually end up leaving and everything and stuff like that. So my 10th grade year, I ended up leaving Hinesville, Georgia for the first time in my life permanently. And I moved up to Locust Grove, Georgia. So for all y'all who do not know, Locust Grove, Georgia is basically like Savannah. Except, I'll say this, no beaches, no nothing, just country. Cows, chicken, pigs, farms, not even farms, horses, country. Move up to Locust Grove, Georgia. At this time, I feel like that, my junior year of high school, I feel like I'm in a different situation now. Because now, nobody knows who I am. Coming up in high school, at least certain people knew who I was, at least, for the most part. Because all the people I knew were around the same middle school and everything, stuff like that. Coming up in high school, though, okay, so around my junior year of high school, I'm in a different mode now. I've kind of grown a lot. I've seen some stuff my sophomore summer. I went up actually. I witnessed a lot of stuff my sophomore summer before I moved up to my mom's in Locust Grove and everything. I think that kind of changed me a little bit, and I think it helped me out a lot because I was in a different predicament now. Now I'm the nobody, basically. It's not the fact that I dressed or just like, well, I just didn't fit the part. It's just that nobody knew who I was. I was just a different kid. I was a new kid on the block. I was nobody, like, I was just in a, I can't even describe it, basically, really, to be honest with you. I've never been in that predicament before, except, I guess, maybe now in college, but even still. At the same time, though, it's just like, I just don't know what to say. But then, time goes along and everything, so far and so on. People get to know me. People start knowing me. Then basketball season comes around. My life probably so far resolved around basketball, as in it's helped me and guided me so many ways. I'll probably do another video like that, like being like my life in basketball video later, like a personal video.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah. So, but like that happened and everything and stuff like that. But I mean, so basketball season coming around, and at the time, I don't think people expected the stuff they expected from me. Me coming from the high school that I came from, like the record and everything and stuff like that. First 2 games come along, I'm dropping double-digit points. I'm still the person I am, remaining humble, remaining calm, and everything stuff like that. But my name's getting tossed around again. But now I can actually get a point on or lock on who's doing it. I just kind of like, okay, well, at least I know now. I'll just say, oh, well, hey, if they're saying something, at least come tell me. I'll let you know what's truth and what's facts. So he goes along. Basketball season, at first started off good and it ends up rocky. Conversations and the chatter gets worse and worse and everything. And, to add fire to add fuel to the fire, me and my mom are going at it. I'm living with her for the first time in my life. She's not used to a 16-year-old in her life. We have my little brother, who's maybe 2 or 3 at the time. Maybe 2. That was that. She hasn't had a kid in 16, 17 years. So she had my little brother's father, I'll say that, and then his son. So it was tough and difficult for everybody. Where she was working, had to come pick me up after practice. Sometimes practice got late. Sometimes practice we had early morning practices. Early morning practices and everything. But I would have to get right from coaches, have to get right from other friends, teammates, and everything. I'm not the type of person to ask people for stuff. Yeah, it just made me step out of my comfort zone and just helped me grow a lot too. But my junior year was just more so me just learning on what I had to do for life and what I had to do as a person. But then my senior year comes around. A whole bunch of other stuff has happened. I actually went to North Carolina. She blowing your shit up. I went to North Carolina my junior year to see my father and my little brothers and my cousins and my grandmothers I haven't seen in a while. I went up there. I came back athletically and basketball wise. I feel like I was here. I was here. I was a whole other person. Come back. I get back into it. My mom can't go to certain workouts. Can't do this. Can't do that. And I feel like I'm losing this stuff. And I feel like I'm just losing losing the relationship with my mom. And so I try to re-up or try to stay where I'm at. I work out with one of my coaches, Coach Ford, he was like my grandfather, except only 6'4", as in he helped me spiritually, mentally, and physically with a whole bunch of other stuff, even school stuff too. He starts, I tell him what's going on and everything. Say, okay, well, if that's the case, we know what's going on. You just work out with me right after school until she gets here. So I start working out with him. Don't lose shape. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like, I can help provide or help do something for this team. Then we work out one day, and I'm doing a certain workout. I feel a pop in my lower back. I tell my coach, I try to stretch it out. At first, it was all right, but then again, something just wasn't feeling right. Go home, ice it, go to sleep, wake up. It was real stiff, it hurts and everything else, and so forth and so on. And
don't do that.
It's real stiff, and it's real. I just knew something wasn't wrong because when I woke up that Saturday morning, we worked out that Friday. That Saturday morning, I just couldn't walk. I had problems walking. My legs were feeling weak. My back was hurting, and I didn't know what was going on. So I go to my trainer. I asked what's wrong, and they said that I probably have a pulled muscle. I probably pulled a lower muscle in my back, and I don't think I've ever dealt with an injury so bad before. Like, I legit didn't know what I was going to do. Because I feel like I was at the top of my. I don't think I've ever been that type of player before in my life. I don't know if I get back to that type. I don't know if I get back to that type of player. That's how.
You know, I'm turning this shit off. I can't. I'm turning this shit off. But you can continue, man. I'm sorry about that.
Nah, I don't think I'll ever be that type of player again. I don't. That's just that part of me. That version of me is just something that won't be. Because my junior summer coming in, I went up against guys like Quay Parker, who played with Dennis Smith Jr., who plays on the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA, and I played against other guys from D1, D2 schools in North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. You know, and that's a big basketball city, even state. You know, and I was able to hang with people like that. And I felt like my senior year was going to be my best year. I felt like my senior year was going to be my year to actually shine and work my way to the goal, which was playing collegiate basketball, whether it be D1, D2, D3, JUCO, or NAIA. And, you know, work my way to either playing overseas or even, if the Lord was willing, here professionally in the NBA. But that injury just took so much out of me, and it hurt me, you know, and it kind of killed my work ethic and everything else. You know, I was trying to figure out what's going on, couldn't really work out, couldn't do nothing. I was, you know, watching practice and everything before the season started. I was just like, I gotta do something. So I ended up I had one of my weight training teachers. He had me going to a chiropractor, you know, and I was real risky at first because I had already been planning on the injury at first. I was using biofreeze. I was getting massage. I was stretching everything, and it wasn't helping. I was playing good, but I just didn't feel myself. I felt slow. I felt sluggish. I felt like I just couldn't move and jump. Like I was jumping everything. Then I go to the chiropractor, and it's like I was a whole nother person. But at the same time, I kind of felt like it was just too little, too late. By the time I went to the chiropractor, the region tournament had already started and everything. And yeah, I was playing better, but I just felt like I just wasn't there. There's just something that was still missing. That part of me I lost that summer was just gone. And I had to work to regain that. So, you know, senior year, we ended up losing to Eagles Atlanta High School in the region playoffs again. You know, we actually came real close to beating them. Their senior night was lost by 1 point, and that game actually had the flu. You know, I had a bad stomach bug actually. I was coming off a bad stomach virus. I came off of it, dropped 17 points. You know, I was just, you know, there were just times where I felt like I could actually see myself doing something with this. But then, you know, end the season comes, I'm trying to talk to my coach, you know, try this school, try that school, try this school, try so far and so on. Had a reporter saying that, you know, he mentioned me to schools out in Kansas and everything, stuff like that. But no letter came back, no information, no emails, no nothing. You know, I asked my coach, I said, well, is it because I can't play? He said, that's not the case. You know, it's just the fact that when you play for a team that's 7-20, it's hard to get recruited to a collegiate team. You know, college coaches don't go for kids who go under 500. That's just how it is. No matter how good you are. You know, if you have a trash or a sorry record and you're a halfway decent player or a decent player, I'm pretty sure most coaches are thinking the reason why he's a halfway decent or even a decent player is because their record is so bad. But, you know, I talked to my coach and everything. He said, you know, well, whatever happens, happens. Just know that if you get the opportunity, you got to take it. So that's my mindset now. And now I guess I'm stuck on here now, I guess. Because, boy, where do I start? I didn't even know, I found out about Gordon State actually from my coach, actually.
God damn it. You can't say the name of it. I mean, I'm sure nobody gives a shit, but I mean, still. Oh, that's not for me. That's for y'all. Maybe you guys
So, I found out about Gordon State from my coach and everything, and I decided to just, come and see what it's like for my first 2 years of college and everything, see what happens. It's been eventful. I'll say that.
Eventful.
It's been eventful. I'll keep it at that for right now. But it's a real good campus, real good school. Some of the people here, they're indifferent. It's a very good learning experience. You feel me? It's
They do a good job matching your roommates though.
Yeah, and I was really hoping I wouldn't get no roommates I wouldn't get along with. I'm extremely lucky to get this fool right here and Corey, But I guess hey, I'm here. I'm just waiting to get out of here. I promise you that right now. And hey, you go, Nick.
I mean, for me, my name is Christopher Jason Starr. I don't really care because I'm small time. It doesn't really bother me. I go by Jason, as you can already tell.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ, Jason, whatever you want to call me, it doesn't matter. It does matter as long as you don't say like a bitch or some shit. I'm gonna fuck you up for that. But I'm gonna be real. Shit, don't call me no bitch. Fuck you mean?
Ooh. Anyway, okay.
No, moving on. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but I grew up in Winder. Actually, no, it wasn't even Winder. There were two towns at the time. Not at the time. It's still there, but it was in between Winder and Monroe. And
like accents.
Yeah. I'm like, the thing about it is my dad and Corey's dad, they're like family. They're like a family friend. They literally just went on vacation together for like 4 fucking days.
So this dude was basically raised in the outskirts of UGA.
Essentially, yeah. My parents have a lot to answer for. I'm a crazy motherfucker. But yeah, I grew up in Winder. My mother is from there. My father's from Philadelphia. That dude has a lot to answer for. But see, my parents had separated at 5 years old. I have a younger brother. His name is Connor. Actually, I have 2 younger brothers. One's name is Connor, and the other's name is Aiden. He came a year after Connor because my father cheated. Well, that's it. That's all that is. I feel like there's not really much to say about myself. I just know that I'm a pretty strange person, to say the least. I was never dropped, but my mother told me that I wasn't dropped, but she would just put me places where I wasn't supposed to be, and then my ass would fall from there. That's what my mom told. That's legit what my mom told me. She said I would put you places that you weren't supposed to be, and then your dumb ass would fall. And I was just like, thanks, Mom.
That's dropping. You would drop off the thing you're not supposed to. Anyway,
that's me. That's what happened. She put me on top of the fucking fridge. On top of the fridge. she. Well, wait for it. There it is. And but
this lemonade is terrific.
Don't worry about that. That's just Gordon being a dick. But
you talking about me?
But for the longest time, my mother raised me for a majority of my life. She raised me for up until this point, and I can't be any more grateful for that. I guess all of my problems started happening when I started school. Really, when I fucking started school, not this school, but schooling in general. Cause Jesus, am I fucked up? But I struggle like any other kid. I have ADHD. Not ADHD. I just have ADD. I do have ADD. I can't stay still for too long, otherwise I'll get jittery and shit.
This is my first time knowing about this, but okay.
Yeah.
This has been good to know. That also explains a lot too.
Yeah. I have ADD. I struggle with that for a really, really long time. Because I'm a very, I'm not gonna say energetic person because I sleep a lot, but I do. I sleep a lot. I crack a lot of jokes, but
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go below the belt.
I do. I do. But I'm not gonna talk about that right now. I think I bruised my knuckle.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm getting off track. But I mean, actually no. All of my problems started when I discovered females. That's crazy, ain't it?
We're not doing this. Not this video. Not this video.
Nah, I mean, I feel like we're telling our lives and shit. So I mean, I feel like this was a really, really big part of my life. So
keep it positive, please. Keep skip.
Okay.
Time skip.
Okay, fine.
Time skip.
Okay, fine. We'll skip to when I was 8 years old.
That's not doing kind of. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna hear this.
We'll skip to when I was 8 years old because
that
that's when I realized my family was different, so to speak. That's when my father left me in Canada. He left me in Canada for 3 hours. Mm-hmm.
So,
well, like to address that, see, my father, he's a real estate agent as of right now, but he used to be
real estate in Canada.
No,
give me his number.
We were taking a trip because at the time he was a fucking trucker. You know
what? Okay,
I don't know, but he was a trucker at the time, and he decided, hey son, I'm gonna take you to Niagara Falls. You know,
that is in Canada. Wow.
Yeah, it's like we're like it's on two different sides of the fucking falls. I didn't know that. There's a bridge going across, and that's where I got lost. My father was taking pictures of the falls. And I was like, hey, Dad, I need to go to the bathroom. And he said, okay, go find it. That's what he said. He said, go find it.
How old were you?
I was 8 years old.
Fucking up.
But at the time, the thing about Canada is, like, the world was a lot more lenient about what the hell was going on. You know what I mean? Like, the world was just, it was, I'm not going to say peaceful, because the world has never been peaceful, but there were less restrictions. I unintentionally walked into Canada. That's how lenient it was. Like I was on one side of the bridge. My father told me to go find the bathroom, and I went sightseeing because I was 8 years old. When you're younger, you get excited by the littlest things. Okay, maybe not you. I mean, your childhood and my childhood are very, very different. Are very, very different. But I mean,
I didn't even get into it.
I mean. And just so I walked it. There were those little twirly shits that you walk through. Like you go on the subway. You know what I'm talking about?
The terminals.
Yeah. And I was able to just walk through there. And like 3 hours later, I'm in the gift shop, and my father is just looking at clothes. He wasn't worried about me whatsoever.
Please don't tell me he's gonna get one of them ugly ass little Hawaiian shirts or whatever.
Damn, that was what he was looking at.
I freaking knew it. I knew it. I knew it, bro.
That is what he was looking at. Shit.
I freaking knew it.
But like I was like, hey Dad, where have you been? He said, where have you been? And I was just like, I don't know. I mean, and the thing about it is, I realized that I was in Canada when I realized that, there are a lot of casinos in Canada.
It's Canada.
I mean,
it's Canada.
I mean, there are just a slew of casinos over there. And then I realized people were talking in accents and they were all lighter toned and stuff, but then I was just like, wow, I was in Canada. So yeah, there's that. I mean, but after that experience, he didn't tell my mom. I wouldn't have told my mom. I didn't tell her. I mean, he didn't tell my mom because she's black. So yeah, no. I wasn't going to tell her. My father wasn't going to tell her. So, there's that. I feel like that, in a way, is kind of my experiences with my father. Those are the experiences that, like, those are the shits that shaped me into the person that I am today. I got hit by a car once when I was with my father.
You know what? Okay. Time skip. High school.
In high school,
sophomore year, junior year,
man, again, like that's when things started going like really downhill for me. Like honestly, like when I got to high school, because that's when I met my first love.
Another video.
Do you know what happened on my first love?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying on the video.
Yeah, that's a different story time. But yeah, I was on a different track. I didn't want to deal with a lot of shit, so I just didn't. And then and then towards the end of high school, I was still my brother's like 10 or 13, 12, whatever the hell.
How do you not know your brother's age?
I know how old he is now. He's 13 now. I mean, like, he was probably like 11 or 10 when,
You graduated?
No, I just graduated this year from high school. So.
Right.
So, yeah, me and my brother are on really, really good terms right now. I mean, as good as siblings can be, you know? Like, because, you know how siblings are.
But all my siblings are babies.
Lucky bastard. Look, here's the thing. My fucking brother, he shot me.
Okay.
And branded me. Shot me and branded me. With an actual gun.
I'm more concerned about the branding, but we're gonna do a roller.
No, I was. It's actually really fun. I was just kind of. I was playing video games. My brother was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I was just like, what the fuck, man? T-Bone down, but shit. I mean,
he didn't brand. He marked you.
Hmm.
He targeted you.
It's crazy. Like, he legit. Like, it's like he planned out his fucking method of doing it too. Because I was legit just sitting there. This nigga rolled over the bed, and I knew he was up to some shit because
when a nigga rolls, when somebody rolls, that's the first sign, bro. When somebody rolls, continue the video.
This nigga rolled over the bed. I'm sitting there playing my game, and I was online too. I was playing GTA Online. And this nigga had, he was on the other side of the bed. He was like, "Hey, you having fun?" And I was just like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be some bullshit." Right? I mean, then he just walks up real slow, and like I feel the room get warmer. You know, like that's how I was like the room just got really, really hot. Like it just got really, really tense up in this bitch. And then like he was just like, "Hey, what's that on your arm?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he just said, "Shh." And I was just like, and it's crazy too because of the way that he did it. Like he legit took one of those wire hangers, like the ones like you see the one of the blue shirt is hanging on right there, like that. He put it in the fucking oven. Like he put part of it in the fucking oven, took that shit out, and then fucking branded me.
Continue with the story.
Moving on. But yeah, high school is where things got eventful. Things got very, very eventful for me. Who is that?
Continue with the story.
Oof. God damn, really? Never mind. But that's when I met. That's when I met my current group of friends, and I'm a really big, like, you know how basketball is your thing. Like, comic books are my thing. I don't necessarily know how to describe it any better than that. Also, there's something I need to discuss with you after this video is over. Like it's nothing bad. I swear it's nothing bad. Nah, it's nothing bad. Like it has the potential to be, depending on how you feel about this person. But anyway, when I got to high school, I had realized that things are a lot different here. They don't. We're gonna cut it right here. Because after, high school it wasn't. It was just me dealing with a bunch of shit that other people just wanted to put me through. Because at that point in my life, I didn't know why things happen for what reason. Things just kind of happen, and that's the end of that, really.
Oh.
So and then I got here.
And on that note, we're done.
You guys want to know something about the people here? Do you? I feel like
It's been CJ,
you know,
and your boy Jalen, and you've been watching Room 121 XD. Cut this shit.
It's the second time.